Good morning. I am in Warwick again today, and currently I've pulled up in search of a building that is leaking, apparently. I've been driving around for the past probably 10 minutes searching for a particular place. I can't find it, so I'm gonna have to pursue it on foot. I am in for a day of repairs and maintenance and all that kind of stuff here in Warwickshire. If you want to come along, feel free, you are more than welcome. Right, this was a particularly difficult building to find. I've, like I say, been driving around for a little while trying to find this. I've finally found it. We're going to knock on the door. Hopefully someone's in so they can show me where the problem is. So I am in this flat investigating a roof leak. We've got a lot of mould in the corners next to the extractor fan. Same flat. I've got a puddle of water next to this window. Mould all around the window, single glazed, no trickle vents, anything like that. This flat seems to be suffering from the same issue all around the corners. As you can see, more mould there. Right, so that turned out to be a complete waste of my time. As you can see from what I found there, they've got a condensation problem. Pure and simple. There's nothing I can do about that. It's not even worth getting the machine off the trailer. I've got to fill in my sheet, tell them this is a condensation problem, advise them to install trickle vents, and well, educate the tenant really on how to prevent a condensation problem. But this is not a job for a roof repair person because there's no roof leak here. So let's go to the next job. Hopefully we can do some good there. Before I go on, quick note about condensation. Because I deal with leaks and damp, I quite often get called to condensation problems which have got nothing to do with the roof. As a general rule, it's due to the people living in the property producing too much moisture, not ventilating the property properly, and sometimes it can be quite difficult to explain to them that the reason they're getting damp is quite often due to their own doing. I don't get me wrong, better insulation and some things that the landlord can do can help, but a lot of it is down to lifestyle. So I end up, I don't like to explain too much to the tenants what the problem is, because 9 times out of 10 I find they don't want to hear what I have to say on the subject. They want me to find a roof problem and for their issues to be solved. Unfortunately, this is not the case. So on this occasion, I will go back, explain the situation to my superiors, who will then hopefully get somebody to explain it to them, because it's not a battle I fancy this morning. On to the next job. Right, here we are. For anybody that has ever watched my videos before, you might recognize where I am this morning. I'm back at this property. On several occasions I have been here to try and reinforce some pigeon proofing around these solar panels. Originally the pigeon proofing was done with pigeon spikes, which hasn't worked. It has then had chicken mesh put between the spikes, and the pigeons have still managed to get through that, so I've been back to reinforce that. Well, this morning I have finally been given proper pigeon mesh and solar panel clips, so I'm going to rip the whole lot off and we're going to do it again. So I'm quite pleased about that, and the tenant is absolutely delighted. Well, it's been a few weeks since I've been here last, and there is still pigeons all over this roof and all over the neighbour's roof. Now there's no way, I don't think, that there's any pigeons underneath these solar panels, because we have sealed it up super tight. Job number 1, let's get this old stuff off so we can get the new stuff on. Right, I have got off all the old stuff around these solar panels, but I forgot to bring up a brush and a blower with me to clean all the rubbish off. So we'll go back down, get the bush and the blower, clean it all down, then we can put the new stuff on. This is the mesh that I'll be using, and the trick, according to the manufacturers, you're supposed to cut this into strips of sort of roughly 1 meter and then hook it to the top of the panels here and just bend it over, put the clips in and secure it into place. Cutting this mesh inside the basket of the cherry picker is way too fiddly, so I've got a new plan. Cut it on the ground using the grinder, much faster, much easier. We'll just take small bits up. I'm under strict instructions not to trap any pigeons underneath. Check out those little buggers there. They're cooing away in a mockery of me, absolutely mocking me, and there's nothing I can do. Little bastard. Hopefully this solution bent that up enough for them to poke their way out, but hopefully it's going to make it troublesome for them to get their way back in again. We shall see. One last thing, to make these corners look pretty, I tend to cut them on a diagonal. There we are, that's the old spikes and chicken mesh removed and new mesh installed. All I've got to do now is tidy up that mess and have a look to see what we've got next. Right, I've arrived at the next job and it's pretty much the same again. More mesh around solar panels. So let's get the machine off, let's crack on and get this one done. My next job, I have come to the crematorium, Oakley Wood Crematorium, where I have got to seal a pipe that goes through a through a wall, and it's draining a flat roof. The roof has just been refelted, and they had to change all the outlet. They had to lower the outlet because it held water, and I have just come here today to seal the pipe into the wall. Let me show you what I mean. This is the pipe. And as you can see, it comes through the wall, and they just want us to seal this hole. I'm going to seal this hole using roof putty, which is a nice, well, it's a nice material to use. It'll do the job nicely. And with that job done, it's getting a bit late in the day to be going to do another job. So I am going to pack up my stuff and head on back to the chicken shed. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please like, comment and subscribe. And thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next job.